OG are back on the rise shortly after their two-man roster change, with Dust 2 being their most popular map in the last 3 months. Hey up, I'm Smirky and today I want to show you how Valde plays Dust 2 B site. It's worth noting I will only be looking at Valde on the B site and not what he is doing at long. Apart from that, let's begin. OG will commonly play a 3-1-1 at the start of the round, with Nico typically going towards mid to spot for information, and Valde will solo the B site for a brief period of time. When Valde wants to cross mid, he will have 3 different methods he will use. His first one is crossing mid like normal through the smoke. The second method is waiting, then he's going to cross. This allows him to dodge any AWP shots coming through the doors. The third method is getting one of the OG players from spawn to nade mid, and Valde and Nico can use the dust to cross mid. Commonly at the start of the round, Valde will go to window and throw some piece of utility into tunnel. He will then hold it just in case anyone runs out. Once again, Valde is coming from window, he's going to have a Molotov prepared and he's going to molly it. He will then hold it just in case someone runs out. Sometimes Nico will Molotov for Valde. This allows Valde to have a spare Molotov, which he can use to Molotov the boxes that upper tunnels. Once again, Nico's going to Molotov for Valde, and Valde is going to make his way through the site. Commonly during the early rounds, Valde will jump out window and hold tunnel without any utility. Here is another example of Valde jumping out window and holding tunnel without any utility. He does this because he wants to use his utility late into the round. Commonly in the early round, when Valde solo towards B, he will usually play towards his boxes and juggle towards tunnel. If he sees an enemy, he can Molotov or smoke himself. Once again, Valde is juggling on top of the boxes and he spots one of the T's. He will try to smoke off the tunnels, the T's will push, and Valde will get some supportive flashes from mid. As a result, he will get a 3k. Valde is going to go towards the site once again, however the T's are going to rush this round, so he tries to delay him by flashing in front of him. He gets full white, so he decides to flash again, and then he decides to smoke site to give him a bunch of one-ways. He can play around the corners to use it as a one-ways, go on top of the stairs. There's a lot of options he can use with the smoke, and you can also delay time with it. As a CT, when you're juggling tunnel, if you decide to smoke in front of you, you have all these possible angles you can use. If you go towards the right side, you can see T's coming out. You could also jump on top of this box to make it harder for your enemies to see you. You can go between these stairs, or you can jump on towards stairs and look towards double. There are a few occasions where Valde wants to save his utility and he wants to wait for lurks. In this round he plays towards site and he plays this angle. If a T was to lurk out of B with no util, commonly they'll go towards car and clear it like this, giving him a free easy kill. When Valde has an AUG, he likes to play this very powerful position behind barrels. It's a headshot angle for the T's and it's very hard to hit him. Here is an example of Valde playing it against Gambit. Gambit executing onto the B bomb site, he gets 1 kill and he's able to fly around Xbox. Once in a blue moon, Valde will tend to play fence. This angle is very good for catching T's off guard, however if checked could result in his demise. Valde will kill at inters, however he will get traded by Nafany, who gets dinked. If you look at this at inters perspective, we can see he wasn't ready for Valde and his head is mostly covered. Once Nico's done collecting information on mid, Nico will come over towards the B site and will either play one of the following setups with Valde. They'll either play 1 person tunnels and 1 person window, 1 person tunnel, 1 person door, 1 person on site, 1 person on car, or double car. Usually when the B setup includes swan and tunnels, Valde will commonly use utility to make sure it's safe for Valde or Nico to juggle it. In this round we can see Valde spamming the smoke and he's going to Molotov the upper boxes to make sure no one is hiding there. Then he will throw a nade dealing around 30 damage to one of the T's. This will allow Nico to jiggle tunnel. Once Valde and Nico have their setups correct, they will usually remain here until either the T's are executing onto the A bomb site or the T's are executing B. Once again the B setup is the exact same and Valde will go towards window and he'll play a headshot angle towards mid, but then catch Nafany with his AUG. If we look at this at Nafany's perspective, we can see he's clearing out the angles and he doesn't pre in this corner. This will make it very difficult for Nafany to hit Valde. The other setup they will do involving tunnel is a 1 tunnel and 1 door setup, where Valde will watch tunnel while Nico will watch mid behind door. If Valde needs help, he can easily help Nico and vice versa. Once again we have a similar setup, except this time Valde is going to be juggling tunnel and will smoke it off if he gets contact. When there's a non-B play towards mid, the B defense will have at least 2 people towards site. In this round we can see Nico's on car playing anti-flash while Valde's on site. Valde will bait for Nico, and once Valde's blind, Nico will peek. The B setup is going to be very familiar, except this time Valde will take the contact and Nico will play anti-flash. Nico will then peek once Valde is full white, and OG will manage to keep the B defense. On some rare occasions the B setup will have 2 people towards car. If the T's run out tunnels and Valde gets one and dies, they won't expect another person to be car, and should hopefully buy a lot more time for the rotations. We can see Alexi B and Valde have a really good setup, where Alexi B is holding tunnel and Valde is watching mid. One of the T's will try and shift up mid, however Alexi B will get caught in the crossfire and will die, however will take down Keto. Valde will remain on the B site and will manage to get another kill. In this round Vitality are doing a B split and Valde will smoke off tunnel. He will then go towards window where he will hold this angle. This angle is usually very powerful, however Kyojin was super aware of the angle. Normally a T would run up mid, check window and then keep looking towards door. And if a CT was peeking window, you'll see him jump up. However, if you play an angle like this, it's very hard for the T's to spot you unless they're super aware of the angle. Once again the T's are going to do a B split, Nico's going to smoke off tunnels, and this allows Valde and Nico to focus towards mid. Both players are going to put down their molotovs, and Nico's going to flash above mid so they can both aggress. Nico will die, however Valde will get 3 kills. Gambit are going to try and split B. Nico will take contact so Valde will smoke off tunnels to make sure no one runs out. When Valde puts that smoke down, he thinks likely no one's going to push through the smoke since it's kind of dangerous for a T to run through. When watching numerous Valde demos, I've noticed that he's quite passive since he rarely pushes or overextends, and as a result he forces the T's to come to him. He has great positioning as he's always close to a teammate or he's in a spot where it's difficult for the opponents to hit his head. He's also quite unpredictable since you never know what the setup is going to be on the B bomb site. It could be car and site, it could be tunnel and window, you just don't know when you're executing onto the site. When looking at Valde's heat maps, I've noticed that it's quite green towards stairs/window. This is usually because he's towards and he gets a lot of kills. When he's towards tunnels, he's only there for a brief period of time. However, if we look at the team stats with Nico, we can see the B bomb site is really green, especially around the tunnel area, which is a really good sign for OG. If there's any plays you want me to do a breakdown next, feel free to put it in the comments below and I'll have a look. Thank you so much for watching, see you in a bit.